Tonight at 9, how one local business owner is giving back.
And Facebook's crisis after the release of internal company documents this weekend, how the company is dealing with the aftermath.
Possible frost and wet conditions. I'll look at all that and more in my full forecast tonight.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Zach Greer.
And I'm Janae Williams. The U.S. job market is still in recovery after the pandemic left so many out of one. But the owner of a local beauty school is using her time and effort to give back to the Muncie community.
Krista Sides is the owner of the Chameleon College of Beauty Culture. It's a place where women can go to learn about the professional beauty industry and practice their skills to prepare for a lucrative career. Her goal, to give back to the Muncie community and to make connections with other local businesses.
Mission is to empower others mentally, physically, socially, and financially in an environment which respects ideas, diversity, and hard work. Whatever you're studying, whatever that thing is you need to practice or that you want to give back to, come to the school and ask me where that can fit in our curriculum, because that is a part of our mission, is to connect with other professionals. So you don't necessarily have to be in the beauty part of it. I mean, students need to learn social media. They need to learn marketing. They need to learn business skills. They need relationship building. There's lots of gaps that can be filled with Ball State students.
The Renard Orchid Greenhouse is reopening tomorrow. The building was closed due to the greenhouse's expansion that started the summer of 2021. The greenhouse began the expansion to accommodate their growing number of visitors and their ability to host more events. These events are kicking back off soon with Halloween at the Renard Orchid Greenhouse. This event will include a guided tour through the reopened greenhouse led by Miss Frizzle. She will encourage kids and guests alike to take chances, not to be afraid to make mistakes, and to get messy. There will also be a scavenger hunt and crafts for the kids. This event will take place Saturday, October 30th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Halloweens and costumes are encouraged. And you know what? Halloween is slowly approaching, so that means the weather is going to start getting a bit colder.
Yeah, I know. I was cold and wet when I walked over here to the studio, but Morgan Taylor is in the studio with us right now to give us a little bit of an insight on what happened earlier this afternoon. Morgan?
Hello, yes, it was quite wet and rainy across campus today. However, this evening conditions look to have cleared up and dried out a little bit. We're sitting at around 51 degrees here locally in the Muncie area. This radar is showing that clearing of the rain and clouds from earlier today. And those clear conditions look to remain in the forecast through Thursday, as that's our next best chance for rain. And I'll be taking a look at possible rain chances, a cooler week ahead, and Halloween weather. All of that and more coming up in my full forecast.
President Joe Biden pushed his agenda during a Sunday breakfast meeting with the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Joe Manchin at his home in Delaware. A White House official says the gathering's goal was to try and come to an agreement on a major economic and climate package. A readout of the meeting says that it was, quote, a productive discussion and that progress was made. The House wants to vote on the bipartisan infrastructure package within the next few days. Manchin is among the few Democrats to voice significant concern about the package and did get the bill trimmed down.
If we're not being fiscally responsible, that's really concerning. Let me make one statement to you all. The best way to know who I am, and I've always been politically, in my political life, I've always said that I believe that government should be your best partner, but it shouldn't be your provider.
Congress has to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill by Halloween before an extension of funding for surface transportation expires.
Facebook has found itself in the midst of a public relations firestorm after internal company documents were released this weekend. CNN's Chris Wynn gives us more information.
Facebook under fire, facing what could be the biggest crisis in the social media giant's 17-year history.
The research and studies that reveal Facebook putting profits over people are from Facebook's own files revealed to them long before it was revealed to us.
The fallout started Friday when a group of media outlets, including CNN, started reporting on hundreds of internal company documents dubbed the Facebook Papers. Whistleblower Frances Haugen provided the papers as evidence to support disclosures she made to the Securities and Exchange Commission, and her legal counsel provided Congress with redacted copies.
Facebook never set out to prioritize polarizing divisive content. It just happened to be a side effect of choices they did make.
Monday, the former Facebook employee appeared before the UK Parliament to call for more government regulation of the social media platform.
Facebook acting in a non-transparent, unaccountable way will just lead to more tragedies.
The papers reveal how the company addressed misinformation and moderated hate speech, and they paint a damning picture of Facebook's role in the January 6th insurrection.
It's clear that the January 6th organization, per se, used them as an organizing tool to the extent that we can identify what really happened.
A Facebook spokesperson told CNN Friday that the responsibility for the violence that occurred on January 6 lies with those who attacked the Capitol and those who encouraged them. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
Now, some U.S. lawmakers are calling for CEO Mark Zuckerberg to testify on Capitol Hill, signaling no end in sight for the company's troubles.
Twitter has suspended an Indiana congressman's official account after removing a post about a transgender Biden administration official over violation of the social media company's rules. Twitter's action came after Republican Representative Jim Banks posted tweets last week regarding Dr. Rachel Levine becoming the first openly transgender four-star officer in the U.S. Uniformed Services. Banks had responded to her appointment by writing, quote, "The title of the first female four-star officer gets taken by a man." Banks says he is standing by his post.
The National Guard Armory in Muncie is currently accepting donations for Afghan refugees housed at Camp Atterbury. Soldiers from the Indiana National Guard delivered over 1,600 coats today as a part of a nationwide effort to help Afghan refugees. But they say they could always use more. Anyone looking to donate can drop off coats, shoes, and other warm clothing items at 401 North Country Club Road between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Several thousand evacuees are currently inhabiting Camp Atterbury in Johnson County, almost 48% of whom are under the age of 14.
Researchers are saying COVID could have been spreading earlier than previously thought.
And a breakthrough for digital currency, how this might benefit future investors. Stay with us.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, MITS will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
For your coronavirus latest, protesters took to the streets of New York today, protesting over the city's COVID-19 vaccine mandates. New York City firefighters and sanitation workers shut down traffic heading into Manhattan as they walked over the Brooklyn Bridge. This comes 5 days after Mayor Bill de Blasio announced all city workers had to have at least a single dose of the vaccine by October 29th. Those who did not would receive a suspension without pay. The NYPD and the FDNY already face a requirement to either get those shots or be tested weekly. However, the testing option is no longer available.
The FDA's vaccine advisors are meeting tomorrow to discuss Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccines for kids ages 5 to 11. Pfizer is ready to ship out the vaccines as soon as possible. Britt Conway has the latest.
How are we going to end the pandemic? The best way to do so is to have the maximum number of individuals immune, and that's what vaccines offer you. And if that includes kids, that's all the more reason to send this virus packing.
Pfizer is already packing, ready and waiting to ship out its COVID-19 vaccine for kids 5 to 11. It's 2 doses, 3 weeks apart, each a third of a normal dose. And Pfizer says it's about 90% effective against symptomatic infection. The FDA's vaccine advisors are scheduled to meet tomorrow to make their recommendation to the FDA, which has already said the benefits outweigh the risks. So if and when the FDA formally makes the emergency use authorization, Pfizer is ready to get shipping.
So it will be available for use once there's a hopefully positive vote from CDC. So it could be as early as November 4th and 5th that you can go into some locations and get your child vaccinated.
The nation's 28 million kids in that age group could get their first COVID-19 vaccine in just about a week and a half, but ultimately, it's up to parents.
Parents ought to look at that discussion, see what the experts are saying. I don't want to get ahead of FDA and CDC's advisory process. Let's see what they say. But the data preliminarily looks pretty good.
And you're all done.
I think it could make a huge difference. It would be pivotal.
Pivotal to ending this pandemic. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
The Biden administration is working to make sure you don't have to wait in line to test for COVID this winter. The National Institute of Health is investing $70 million to bring more over-the-counter at-home tests to the market. That money comes from the COVID relief package passed earlier this year. The NIH is also working to establish faster means for the Food and Drug Administration to evaluate and approve tests for large-scale manufacturing. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra says that the easy-to-use tests are key to bringing peace of mind to families as winter approaches.
A new study says transmission of coronavirus was likely spreading across Europe and the United States by January 2020. Many infections could have gone undetected. The study is based on a model of COVID-19 transmission during the first wave of the pandemic. Researchers looked at the data from the continental U.S. and 30 European nations, along with information on airline transportation and other travel patterns. The model suggests that local spread of coronavirus was happening in January and February last year, before COVID-19 tests were easily made accessible to the public. Researchers estimate that by early March, at most 3 in 100 coronavirus infections were detected.
In consumer news, oil topped $85 per barrel for the first time in intraday trading since 2014. That marks a 13% jump in oil prices this month alone and a 120% rise since this time last year. The product was trading at negative prices less than 18 months ago when suppliers ran out of space to store it. A global energy crunch is similarly impacting the prices of coal and natural gas. The average price Americans are paying for a gallon of gas now stands at $3.38. A year ago, it was $2.16.
A milestone in the world of crypto. For the first ever Bitcoin future exchange traded fund in the United States has begun. And experts say the ETFs are potentially making it easier for investors to get into digital currency. After going public, ProShares became the first fund investing in Bitcoin future contracts. The head of the investment strategy at ProShares is predicting that this may be a huge stepping stone in the acceptance of cryptocurrencies by regulators.
Makes it really, really simple for folks to have the opportunity to add this exposure in the way they would, have a ETF for any other asset class, stock or bond.
The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is issuing a warning to investors. They say to weigh the risks and benefits in investing in a fund that holds Bitcoin future contracts. And Janae, I'm really hoping that we can actually benefit from some weather in the next couple of days.
I hope so too. Hopefully a little warmer. Morgan, what do you have for us?
The look at the next chance for rain after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other.
on a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
come together,
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Good evening, everyone. I'm weather forecaster Morgan Taylor. It's been pretty wet and rainy over the last couple of days, and over the last 24 to 48 hours, rainfall totals have been just at around 2.5 inches. Now, this rain and wet weather is going to look to clear out of the area, but from the beginning of the month to now, we have accumulated about 5 inches of rain over the past month, and that's around 3 inches above normal. Now, as I mentioned previously, we're going to get a break in that rain over the next couple of days. Looking at radar, you can see the rain from earlier starting to clear out of the area, leaving mostly cloudy conditions this evening, but looking to clear out for tomorrow. Even though rain isn't a risk right now, we do have some flood warnings in the area from Muncie to Anderson. This line is the corridor of the White River that has a risk for some flooding, as well as other creeks and reservoirs around the area as well. So be on the lookout for that over the next 24 to 48 hours. However, right now we're on the drier side right now, around 51 degrees, a north wind around 15 miles per hour this evening, and continuing into the overnight hours. Temperatures are going to drop to around 45 degrees, but by tomorrow, we're going to warm back up to our high for the day of around 55 degrees. We're going to see a decrease in cloud coverage, and winds are going to be on the coming out of the north from around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, heading into tomorrow night, there's a chance for some possible frost to move in to the area as those rain and clouds clear out of the area. Temperatures dropping to around the 30s, 36, not quite that freezing temperature, but looking to be near the freezing range, which is why frost is a risk. Now, we're just 6 days shy of Halloween, and this weekend the weather is going to be perfect for a great night out with some friends, family, a bonfire, trick-or-treating. Temperature is going to be in the 50s for your Halloween forecast, mostly sunny skies in store as well. Now, our next best chance for rain, as we look at the mid-7-day forecast, doesn't come into play until Thursday, and then as we clear out from Thursday to Friday, Saturday and Sunday looks to be on the clearer side with temperatures overall over the next 7 days in the upper 50s with lows in the 30s to 50s for the rest of the week.
Well, you know what? Honestly, that's not too bad. I'm happy that we had decent weather for the homecoming game. We were all out tailgating, enjoying the game as well.
Yes, this weekend was definitely very nice, and we should be seeing pretty nice conditions this weekend for Halloween as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Morgan. Now let's toss it over to Joey for sports.
Well, one Ball State team back in action in front of fans for the first time in nearly 2 years. And another taking a loss on homecoming Saturday. Find out who next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Joey Moore with sports. On Saturday, Ball State men's basketball opening their season with a scrimmage in front of fans. NewsLink Indiana's Bryce Dimsevich talked with the Cardinals about the upcoming season.
For the first time in 2 years, Ball State men's basketball hosting an open inter-squad scrimmage in front of fans. Head coach James Whitford talks about the impact of what it was like for the players to step onto the court and hear the roar of the fans after a long break in attendance.
It was great to have the fans back, and I think, as a player, you got to get used to that. You're in a quiet gym for practice every day, and it's just different when you play in front of other people, and I thought we got some of those jitters out today.
Redshirt senior Myron Thomas explains how enjoyable it was to play in front of fans and how he expects the team to be going into the season.
So good. Getting reaction from big plays and knocking down threes. You get to hear the fans chanting, so it felt good hearing that again. I'm excited for this year's team. We got a lot of excitement, you know what I'm saying? We're strong, we're fast, and we're skilled, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what we need to be.
With no room for error, the coaches continue to push each and every one of the players.
Oh man, our coaches, they've been on us heavy. They've been on us heavy on the court and in the weight room and in the classroom. So it's really turning the program around for the better. So, I mean, it's hard, but we're making adjustments.
Knowing they can compete on the highest level of Division I basketball, Whitford gives his insight on what he wants from his team.
I really like our team. Some of that, we got to write our own story here over the next few weeks. It's a great part about sports is you get an opportunity to do that. But I really like our team. We're working the right way, and I'm very optimistic about where we can go.
Men's basketball tips off the 2021-2022 season on November 9th at Georgia Southern University. In Muncie, Bryce Dimsevich, NewsLink, Indiana.
This past Saturday, Ball State football taking on arch rival Miami, Ohio in the annual Redbird rivalry matchup. With homecoming week setting the stage for the big game, the Cardinals looking to capitalize on a 3-game win streak and claim back-to-back MAC conference titles. Ball State firing out of the gates, taking the opening drive down the field and finding Cardinal Justin Hall in the back corner of the end zone for 6. Miami, Ohio on the hunt, following a Ball State fumble and finding tight end Andrew Homer right down the middle on a 3-yard toss for a touchdown. After trading field goals and a 1-yard Redhawks touchdown, Plitt finding wide receiver Deshaun Jackson over the goal line to pull ahead by 1. With another Miami touchdown and a Plitt interception in the end zone on a last-minute drive, Ball State falling to the Redhawks once again, 24-17.
That hurts. We had a lot of really positive things trending going into today, and a tough loss, but obviously told the team in the locker room that we got to stick together here. Got a lot of football left to be played.
And as we're getting into the thick of college football season, let's take a look at the high school football postseason. Last weekend, the Indiana High School State playoffs kicking off all around the area. The Monroe Central Golden Bears keeping their record spotless with a 52-7 victory over the Westdale Warriors to remain undefeated. They will look to keep their special season going in round 2 as they travel to South Adams to take on the Starfires this Friday. And it's just so much fun to see how all the local teams do in sectional football. It's one of my favorite times of the year, and it's just great to go out and watch how these teams succeed.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the nice weather that we have and just being able to go out and watch local high school football, it doesn't really get much better than that.
Yeah, and October is the perfect time for that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joey.
After the break, Jeff Bezos is building an out-of-this-world tourist attraction.
Plus, we take one final look at the weather. Stay with us.
My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never
you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared. So start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Time to take a look at what is trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Daniel Hochzeller. Daniel, what do you have for us?
Good evening, guys. When you think about vacation, you think about Hawaii or the Bahamas, but Bezos is thinking space. He wants to build a commercial space station that's nearly as big as the International Space Station. Blue Origin, the rocket and space tourism company founded by Bezos, is proposing a new commercial space station called Orbital Reef. It could be used to host science experiments, vacation getaways, and even in-space manufacturing. The company plans to work alongside startup Sierra Space to bring the space station to pass. Let's come back to Earth. The pair of Michael Jordan sneakers broke a record at auction over the weekend. The Nike Airship sneakers were auctioned off Sunday by Sotheby's. They say cards collector Nick Frola paid $1.47 million for them. The price tag set a new world record for the most money ever paid at auction for a pair of sneakers. Jordan wore the red and white footwear in 1984 during the 5th game of his rookie season with the Chicago Bulls. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I would pay that much money for sneakers. How about you guys?
I know that I wouldn't. Janae, would you pay that much?
See, the thing is, I love shoes. I love the Jordan brand, and it's just crazy to see how much they've evolved. Like, the prices have gone up exponentially. I remember they used to be about $120, but it's absolutely crazy. I don't think I would pay that much for shoes. But I mean, he did wear them, so
awesome.
Who knows?
Well, thank you, Daniel. Now it's time to take one last look at weather.
Taking one final look at the weather as we look at the next 7 days. The next best chance for rain is on Thursday with about an 80% chance for that to occur. Rolling over into Friday, we could also see some rain, but that looks to clear out by Saturday and Sunday as we head over into the Halloween weekend. And for Monday, that looks to leave conditions on the clearer side as well. Overall temperatures in the 50s with lows in the 30s and 40s.
Thank you, Morgan. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.